Good news from Tigray. It seems there won't be any war in Tigray in at least 2 weeks. Secondly, interesting developments in Addis Ababa, where Tigrayan generals and politicians, especially generals, are now involved in a dispute. Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching. Good to be with you. First story is about likelihood of war in Tigray. When we say war could erupt any time in Tigray, we quote statements of TPLF leaders and federal government officials. They are saying war can happen anytime. TPLF in its statements use the word imminent. Said war is imminent. Gita Shoradan Radwan Hussain, Ethiopian intelligence agency chief and East Africa advisor to Prime Minister Gita Shoradan, wrote an article for Al Jazeera saying, in coming days, backed by Eritrea, TPLF is going to open military front, launch war. This is what warring parties are saying. Are they bluffing? Are they just trying to pressure each other? We don't know. But how can we just reject the claims? War should be averted. If we say no war will happen, there'll be obviously, and if all the people say there won't be any war, these people are bluffing, it means we won't take the threat seriously. We should take the threat seriously. International community should intervene, should take the threat seriously. You don't know what they're up to, by the way. Mobilization is there. But a good news is from Tigray, where it seems there won't be any war in at least the next 2 weeks. Tigray regional forces and Ethiopian federal forces are cooperating, they're coordinating. It is good to see, by the way. Why am I saying there won't be any war in Tigray perhaps in the next 2 weeks? Well, we don't know about the future, but we only analyze. Today, 12th grade exit exam, national exam started in Ethiopia. 563,501 students are taking the exam. One of the most important exams in Ethiopian education field is this exam. The exam is being conducted in Tigray. This exam is conducted by Ethiopian federal government, by Ethiopian Federal Ministry of Education, in coordination with regional governments. So examination started today simultaneously in all regional states of Ethiopia, including Tigray regional state. Federal government officials, Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education officials, and federal security forces are in Tigray conducting this exam. Around 29,755 students in Ethiopia, boys and girls, are taking this exam. And 8 examination centers have been set up in major cities like in Mekelle, etc. The students started taking this exam today. Federal police has been deployed reportedly to these 8 examination centers in different parts of Tigray. Federal police is providing security to the venues of the examination centers. Federal government officials are there too. The exams will go on for at least 2 weeks. Not at least, schedule has been reached. The exam will go on for 2 weeks. It means that there won't be any war. In Tigray, there won't be any attack by federal government on Tigray in the next 2 weeks because federal forces are in Tigray at the exam. And maybe TPLF won't start a war too, keeping in view that thousands of students are taking exams. Educational careers could be in danger. TPLF government closed schools earlier this year. 1 month before the scheduled, schools have been closed in Tigray. Tigray government, Tigray Education Bureau has been saying that because of the withholding of budget by federal government, salaries could not be paid to teachers. So schools closed, teachers unpaid. But 12th grade national exit exam is underway in Tigray for 2 weeks. I think that at least there won't be any war in the next 2 weeks. Let's hope that in the next 2 weeks, these warring parties somehow start negotiations and mediators manage to facilitate talks between them. So, second piece of information is from Addis Ababa. In a video, in a live chat this week, I told you that Ethiopian federal government is trying to build a large Tigrayan anti-TPLF community in Addis Ababa. Tigrayans who are entering Addis from Tigray are being welcomed. Tigrayan politicians, Tigrayan military officers, they're being welcomed. And we could not confirm any actions against Tigrayans who are entering Addis. Why? Because federal government wants to use the Tigrayans in Addis against TPLF in case of change of government in Tigray. Tigray influential people in Addis Ababa will be lost to replace TPLF. And this the Tigrayan community in Addis is supporting PP's policies. That is why PP is supporting the entry of Tigrayans into Addis, especially influential Tigrayans, military commanders, politicians, journalists, activists, etc. But it seems that now fissures are emerging between different Tigrayan groups in Addis Ababa. Those Tigrayan military officers who stood with Ethiopian National Defense Force during Tigray war are now feeling that they have been sidelined. They spoke in support of federal government when, as a Tigrayan, it was very difficult to support federal government. Back then, it was a crime to support federal government. For Tigrayans, it was a crime to support federal government. But still, in those difficult times, those people stood with federal government. People like Samara Yunus, former chief of staff of the Ethiopian National Defense Force. During Tigray War of 2020, he did not stand with TPLF or Tigray, but he stood with Ethiopian National Defense Force. People like Johannes Gabriel Meskel, Lieutenant General, he also supported federal government, not Tigray, not TPLF. These people are giving interviews these days, again criticizing TPLF, Tigray military, but they're not happy with the importance which is being given to the new arrivals in Tigray. New arrivals like Sadkan, like Ghosh Gabre, like Vadian Tiro, like Gita Choreda, like Professor Kendeya, so many others. The new arrivals from Tigray are under the spotlight. They are being given positions. They're being consulted. They are leading the Tigrayan anti-TPLF community in Tigray. But the old ones who have been supporting Prosperity Party since 2020 are feeling sidelined. That is why what we have learned is that uh, there are not disputes between ENDF military commanders from Tigray, former military commanders who supported PP during Tigray war, and those who entered Addis Ababa recently in the last 1 year or so. Thanks for watching.